Greetings, divine masters of the Ascension Way, lighting up the grids, all star blossoms, open, awake, and aware to our galactic missions here on Pachamama to assist Gaia and all of her children through this great ascension process, this great awakening into heaven on earth. We had another day of very powerful higher dimensional energetic waves flowing into the field, into this realm. Last night, all night again, I was totally on fire, totally lit up, just like the sacred ring of fire. Today we had a white blast in the Schumann charts with a 43 hertz, which is connected to our lucky number 7, which is the love of the Christos, the love of the Ascended Master, here now, in this body, in this vessel, on this great mission. Again today, the ring of fire around the Lemurian energies, totally lit up and activated. All 3 Dantians fully open and activated. We had 2 powerful earthquakes in Chile, South America, the Sacred Andes Mountains, a 3.9 and a 4.1. Then again, in the portal in Central America, El Salvador, 4.5, and then the lower Dantian of the Ring of Fire with the Lemurian energies off the coast of New Zealand, 4.6, 191 kilometers depth. Then we had another quake in Chile, activation of 4.7, just south of the Tropic of Capricorn. And then in Buffalo, Wyoming, the land of Wakan Tanka, 3.2. Then we had a very synchronic activation in India, 88 kilometers depth, connected with the Lion's Gate of 4.6, the 1010 portal. And the greatest synchronicity is that it was in a place called Nagaland. And I've been having many synchronicities with the Nagas, the winged serpents. They've been coming through for years, but in the last couple of weeks, with my reunion with my soul star family, the sacred condor of Shakti, the Nagas, have been fully activated. And they came through in my connection with Shri and Kara, anchoring the Shakti Shiva codes in our sacred portal in Ecuador. And one of our divine sisters of the light, that she was in ESETI on the 8-8. They came through to her. Yesterday, the Queen's mother, Mama Bear, the winged serpent in meditation, also came to her. So this connection, we see this with the connected to the dragon energies, but the serpent, which in the Buddhist and Hindu, the hooded, like the cobra, the hood that protects the Buddha awareness. And what's coming through with my soul star family is the sanctuary. We're visioning potentially on the Hood River by Mount Adams. So also the Nagas are doing their best to assist me to reconnect with my Council of 8. And the eagle, the gold white eagle, becomes the 9, the Council of 9. Indonesia has been very active today with earthquakes and a massive volcanic explosion, which synchronized with my soul explosion through the night. And we had a 5.1 and a 4.8 about 9 hours ago, 299. And then in the Philippines around the same time, a 4.3. And then right in the heart of Lemuria 3.0, which is very close to the Tropic of Cancer, 19 latitude, 155 longitude at 2050 UTC, the island of Hawaii. And then in the Crown in Alaska, a 4.5 activation, also connected with the 9, the Council of 9. So we're filling these with Crown activations and activations of the 7 sacred chakras of the Rainbow Bridge. Aho. We'll start today's first transmission from Divine Bro Star of the Light, Daniel Divine. A big wave of divine unions coming to usher in the golden age From now until the equinox, we will see the biggest wave of divine unions ever manifested in the physical. You did the inner work, beloveds. You have awakened from the person and become whole and balanced within. Both the divine masculine and divine feminine merged, and this is the beginning. To reflect back in the dream, realigning to the divine feminine, your divine counterpart is waiting patiently for you to know your worth, and she is waiting patiently for you to love yourself so much that you have impeccable boundaries 100% of the time, and vice versa. The ancient ones knew that at around this particular epoch we are in now, that Gaia and the whole solar system will come into alignment with the heart of our galactic sun, Alcyon, in the Pleiades. We will activate a solar flash event that will be experienced by the entire consciousness of the universe as an intense tsunami of God's love, grace, and all-pervading presence. And that this event will reactivate all of humanity's dormant DNA codes, switching on the Christ-Sophia divine union codons that have been stored in the deepest core of humanity's consciousness. This event will literally realign and unlock the divine energetics of the core of our Milky Way that had previously been infiltrated by lower dimensional forces, and this momentum will enable the reunion of our Milky Way with the nearby Andromeda Galaxy, thus fully completing this current 26,000-year cycle into a permanent golden age. We have arrived, dear ones, at the dawn of the permanent golden age. We truly won the battle of light and dark within and without. There is never, ever, any other option except victory to the light. Never before in Earth's history or in this entire galactic region has life witnessed such an epic transformation of an entire species whose body vehicles are physically resurrecting from carbon-based to crystalline-based. Many of you will notice shifts in your physical appearance, like appearing younger, and that the aging process has definitely stopped for many of you. It is very powerful for you to observe these shifts as it empowers these timelines of increased transformation. The greatest way you can assist your human vessels with this shift from carbon to crystalline is to deeply and profoundly align with your heart consciousness, which holds the key to 5D plus consciousness, which is the gateway to full multidimensional consciousness. The way to stop the aging process is to stop believing in the false, limited narrative of the egoic consciousness, which perpetually seeks to keep you separated from yourself and from others. This egoic consciousness would have you believe that you are unsafe and that it is imperative for you to stay in your individualized form and resist the merge with your divine counterpart, eternal self, and all that is. Dearest ones, please know we are witnessing in this ascension window the most profuse number of divine union partnerships ever to have graced Earth's surface. This reunification trajectory will last up to the September equinox. Please use this time, dearest ones, to prepare in earnest for your divine counterparts. You can do this most efficiently by stating clearly to the universe what you will and will not accept. Have vigilant boundaries and stick to them relentlessly, knowing that your higher self will test you. And for those of you who pass the test and who refuse to accept any pathetic, unsatisfactory crumbs from the universe, please know that you will encounter your divine counterpart in this ascension window. For many of you, this person will not be the person who you thought it was, as for many, that person who you believe is your twin has actually been preparing you to come into union with your God-chosen twin soul mate. Don't fear needing the divine masculine and the Sangha. One of the biggest misconceptions about reclaiming our divine feminine power and sovereignty is the idea that as women, we are somehow choosing independence over union. Need has become a dirty word in the context of the distorted masculine paradigm that prioritizes independence, domination, and capitalization. It's very vulnerable to let yourself truly need someone to expand your divine expression, interconnectedness, and reliance on the Sangha or community, and our natural need for intimacy and divine expression. We fear needing people or things because it ultimately makes us vulnerable to heartbreak and loss. Modern-day women have been told that to need a man is to give away your power to him and subjugate yourself by denying your own sovereignty. This is a gross distortion and inversion of the organic creation divine union code and fertilizing principle that lies at the heart of all creation. This inversion is an attempt to undermine the original Sophia-Christ union template of sacred divine love on earth. The truth is the divine feminine needs the divine masculine, and it goes both ways, and includes the whole Sangha in the world. Devotional love is the natural state of all liberated beings, but our perception has been severely twisted by the dominator program of the patriarchy, which has intentionally set the masculine and feminine energy at war with each other, both internally and externally, for a very long time, and divorced both from divinity and oneness. The systemic demonization of devotional love between the sexes has long been used to create widespread spiritual amnesia and deep conflict between the masculine and feminine polarity. This distortion code is profoundly embedded in the Christian Church's historical misrepresentation of the devotional union between Jesus and Mary Magdalene, for example. Instead of being honored as the spiritual devotee of Sophia Christ consciousness and a powerful, sovereign priestess in her own right, Magdalene has been incorrectly portrayed as a lowly whore and woman of no status. Herein lies the deepest subliminal distortion programming of the patriarchy embedded in the collective feminine consciousness, that to be perceived as a powerful woman it is necessary to disown your refined sensuality, intuitive gifts, and divine femininity, so that it cannot be used against you. The either-or consciousness of the distorted masculine patriarchy we live in programs the feminine to identify as either dependent on the masculine for her survival, which makes her weak, or totally independent from him, and therefore beyond needing his protection and completion, which makes her strong in an egoic sense. This false light inversion of divine feminine power has created a generation-wide inability to receive the tender and benevolent divine love of the divine masculine as an embodiment of Christ consciousness, a source of nourishment she so desperately needs. As a result, the divine feminine in both men and women has been judged as weak and was shut down, only to be replaced by the false empowerment of over-identification with distorted masculine principles of independence, invincibility, pragmatism, total self-reliance, ego, absence of emotion, and dismissal of the need for true, open-hearted intimacy. This distortion has created a corrupt society in which both sexes attempt to exert power over each other by continually oppressing and or rejecting each other. The systemic undermining of the devotional aspect of union is another way humans have been intentionally divided and kept from the depths of divine intimacy and transcendent divine love with one another and God, not limited to just one's husband. We are estranged from unity or oneness because we dare not need each other fully, vulnerably, and purely. We dare not surrender into the tender vulnerability of being truly held. We fear each other and distrust the divine grace that created us perfectly in the image of spirit, not our forms. This inversion is being revealed and healed through all of us awake from the person now. When the feminine surrenders to her deep longing to be protected and nourished by the divine masculine, including her inner man or guru, she can receive the beautiful support and holding she naturally longs for. This innate divine feminine need to be held, supported, and protected by the divine masculine does not mean she is not strong, quite the opposite. It takes real strength for a woman to be vulnerable enough to acknowledge her deep need for the divine love and witnessing of the divine masculine, considering the extent of the betrayal and abuse she has suffered by the hand of toxic masculine energy. Needing the internal and external support of the divine masculine presence is as natural as needing to express and honor your divine feminine power. The yin is reliant on the yang and vice versa. This is the natural creation code of all earthly existence. To be held allows the feminine to soften fully into divinity, allowing her to fully connect to her intuition and full mystical powers. Connecting to her own inner mystery and divinity allows the divine feminine to become the chalice through which the elixir of divinity overflows. In a soft and surrendered state of alert openness and wonderment, the divine feminine effortlessly becomes a bridge to the divine. When a woman feels supported and lovingly witnessed by the protective energy of a man, Embodying the divine masculine, she opens like a flower to the world, bearing her innocent divine soul, like a blossoming rosebud, drinking in the light of the sun. When truly supported by the divine masculine, the divine feminine instinctively knows how to fill her own cup, and she begins to self-source her power rapidly, overflowing with divine love that effortlessly nourishes the world around her and him. The divine feminine needs the divine masculine to witness her vulnerable, sacred unfolding. She needs her protector to stand guard as she strips off and bathes in the pool of her own wild innocence. She needs his night energy around her to feel fully safe enough to open and let go, and that is okay. In fact, it was divinely designed that way. The divine feminine's need for pure, benevolent masculine energy at her side is healthy and natural. Only the distorted rhetoric of toxic masculine consciousness in both misidentified men and women tries to shame the feminine of her deep desire and passionate longing to be held in the arms of a divine lover and protector. There is nothing wrong with needing him. Together, we are remembering this. It is safe now for the divine feminine to trust the masculine again. Women, it's safe for you to soften your body and let your man hold you in loving embrace. It's safe to be embraced in your truth. It's safe to let him back into the terrorized chambers of your heart. It is safe to soften, remember, and trust. To let yourself need him again, to let him receive the gift of your tenderness. Let him serve you as he longs to. He is a reflection of the beloved within you. Let him witness you as you rise into your true power. Let him hold you. From Jen McCarty, since the portal opened, we have successfully lifted up a few soul groups, even countries into 5D+. These group soul families are the large ones. There are also smaller group soul families which will now have an easier time fully ascending. The large soul groups need a huge amount of ascension energies to be able to fully ascend. Now, since the designated soul groups are ascending, their devotion is extraordinary, and that makes their journey up much smoother. In the event that these soul groups ascend, the divine will begin to announce their group soul family success stories and how their religion has helped them in this ascension process worldwide. Their divinely inspired spirit is for all to see and follow. Besides these religious groups or sanghas, soul groups that have no religious association are now forming that have huge amounts of independent elements, meaning that in order to ascend together, these souls have to learn to work together in harmony as a group to ascend in unison. These group soul families may have challenges doing so. Soul groups ascend differently. Some ascend together and their journey tends to be easier. There are also soul groups who are fragmented while they are ascending. Their journey can be very challenging and slow. Some even get lost in the process because they cannot be together with their soul group, soul family. They venture out and sometimes go too far. Eventually the divine has to rescue them. Souls who tend to stick together have easier ascension journeys. They help each other and move in unison, ease, and grace. Consciously moving in unison is the best way to ascend, and some soul groups are doing just that. We are soon to focus on the final disclosure in the next phase of Earth's surface restoration process. Even though there are some lightworkers who are still not ready yet for their next divinely contracted mission, the divine will start the next phase regardless. The time has come. Humanity is long overdue for the process and has no more excuses for the delay. The next phase has significant consequences for humanity. The process needs a lot of cooperation. Countries need to work together in the process, and that will be the only way to minimize damage and huge losses. For the sake of all, the divine and humanity will have to work together to get Gaia's rebuilding process done safely on time. That is the divine order. Spread this awareness to all countries and soul groups loudly now. The time has come. And this is also very synchronic with my connection to my soul star family and the prophecy of the eagle flying with the condor. And that is the divine Shakti and divine Shiva, the Christos and the Mary Magdalene energies coming together to create harmony, to create balance and peace, and to transmit those love and freedom codes to all of humanity so that all love workers, light workers can reunite with their sacred families and their divine counterparts. So I'm doing my best to fulfill my part in this great mission, and I appreciate all of you that have come on this great journey and mission and that are supporting my work and my journey to my elven Venusian queen, the black gold condor of the south. Aho. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Lisa Marie Wright. Stay golden. Keep glowing through it all. Divine neutrality, responsibility, accountability. Remain in your peaceful heart and know all is unfolding in perfect divine design. Forgive self. Trust you, what flows through you in the process. Feel it to heal it. Be done. Be free. We are golden. We are stardust, baby. And today, from Divine Sister of the Light, Elizabeth Peru, the upcoming Mars influence, beloved ones, have you looked up at the night sky pre-dawn and seen Mars flickering bright orange? It's a standout along with Venus and Sirius. Next month, the rare Mars retrograde will begin, bringing it to 7 planetary retrogrades in effect. Then in October, Mars will be at its closest approach to Earth all year. This double impact will be invoking the ability for you to reclaim and use your power. As a cosmic guide, since 2003, I'm always intuiting energy shifts and looking ahead, feeling into the upcoming planetary influences that will be helping us to evolve and integrate our spiritual and physical lives as one. Indeed, each one of us is a cosmic being, something that more and more people are becoming aware of. When you own all of you are the cosmic and physical, the magic happens. You become a wise, knowing person. From ElizabethPeru.com, today from Here in the Moon Astrology, Sunday, August 23rd, 2020, a heads up, don't push the river. Notice the shift as the season changes with the sun's return to earthy Virgo. In the outer world, this is a week when moods will change from hour to hour as the interpersonal planets make multiple contacts to the heavy hitters. Between them, Mercury, Mars, and Venus aspect all the outer slow-moving planets as well as the galactic center and the North Node. One of the key events of 2020 is the Mars-Saturn square, and this is exact on Monday, August 24th, repeating on September 29th and January 12th, 2021. Mars in Aries wants what it wants right now, whereas Saturn in Capricorn is like an immovable object, everything in its own good time. This is a recipe for frustration, for coming up against authority in its various guises. Mars is all about taking quick, fearless action, whereas Saturn is all about taking responsibility for your actions. In 3D, expect to see it playing out as anger with yet more restrictions around social movement due to the scamdemic, alongside delays in travel plans. Grandmother? But you know better. With so many planets retrograde, if you push too hard to move forward, you'll burn out. So focus on strategic goals, dropping any sense of entitlement to have what you want exactly when you want it. Use skillful will, sidestep strong will, leave that to the politicians. For those working the 5D transformational path, this powerful transit is full of potential for making a real difference to wherever you're investing your time, love, and passion. Mars is preparing to turn retrograde in early September to mid-November and is now the brightest star in the sky, so factor that in by being ultra-flexible and staying wide open to the potential for self-empowerment September will bring. This week, Venus in Cancer will be at odds with Mars, Jupiter, then Pluto. Better to keep your heart-based plans practical but achievable. Stay local and enjoy the small things that make life worthwhile. In amongst the outer restrictions, there will be some lovely moments and good news as Mercury aligns with Jupiter and Neptune. The 0-point energies feel as if everything is happening and nothing is happening at the same time. Keep it simple. Deal with the now. From Here in the Moon Astrology.co.uk. Today from Astro Mama. The sun moves into Virgo, grounded logic, detailed plans, the gift of compassionate service. On August 22nd, 23rd, the sun, which rules our ego, life force, and energy, leaves his home sign of Leo and enters the earth sign of Virgo. Virgo, the 6th zodiac sign, is known to be detail-oriented, health-conscious, grounded, and a hard worker. We suddenly shift from the fiery vibes of being seen with Leo to the earthy vibes of hard work and being of service with Virgo. No other sign can be as efficient yet utterly humble as a Virgo. Virgo is all about the harvest. It is time to go back to school, work, and orderly routines to reap what we have sown in the previous months. As the summer comes to a close here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are reminded with the Virgo sun to get back to the basics. What you see is what you get with Virgo. No hidden thrills or agendas. The sun in Virgo reminds us that hard work and good manners never go out of style. A calming and serene connection to Gaia is enhanced with the sun's entry into the Virgin's den. The sun in Virgo is here to bring back a good, old grounded dose of reality and practical applications to our lives. In a world that is ridden with chaos, the sun in Virgo wants you to stay present and mentally alert. He is here to bring organization and efficiency back to the forefront, earthy ambitions, and the recognition of what humble service provides to our lives. Happy birthday to all Virgo folks. From astromama.com. And today, from the Gene Keys, Unlocking the Higher Purpose Hidden in Your DNA by Richard Rudd, August 23rd through August 28th, 2020, Gene Key 59, Dishonesty, Intimacy, and Transparency. Imagine two stars making love. There is no end to their love-making. It is infinite and fresh and never-ending in its journey. One can never be parted from one's love. Even physical death will be transcended in this next phase of our evolution. Such relationships will endure from life to life. So even though incarnations may continue, the memory is no longer lost since there is no membrane anymore. The fear of death is gone. The love has evaporated it. On an even wider level, a vast individuality is forming that sees beyond incarnation itself. It is part of a much greater timeline that remembers all that came before, the great forgotten epochs of the past, and it also sees where we are going, yet time itself still remains to a degree. Only in the final epoch will time itself dissolve, and that is still to come, but our next phase will be the penultimate epoch, the so-called sixth race. A new human will dawn, with a faculty of awareness that travels outside the body and connects us to all other beings. Into this next epoch, the future human will step. It is the phase of enlightened activity and of embodied presence. We humanity are supercells. We learn and remember this truth. This is the deepest kind of intimacy possible. All the old cliches are true. We truly are one world, one people, one heart. Excerpt from the 64 Ways. And from the I Ching, Code 59, Dispersion, gentle breeze dancing on moving water. The whispering wind guides one to dive into the depths of love without fear. Transparency is the clarity of devotion. Intimacy is intuitive commitment. Dishonesty is the unease of half-heartedness. Intentional communication. The ancient kings, in accordance with this, presented offerings to God and established the ancestral temple. The experience of being in love is the prelude to our future awareness. It doesn't generally remain because we haven't awakened enough for that frequency to stabilize. We carry too much wounding. As we transmute our wounds and experience our higher consciousness, these kinds of relationships become possible, even probable. This is from the genekeys.com, and today from Gaia Portal. Formations of the heavens form. Energetic accelerants have been precisely placed. Parities are removed. Stabilizations follow. And today from Tibetan Buddhist master, the Dzong Lingpa, the primordial, originally pure nature of existence, which is great, intellect transcending, ultimate reality, free of conceptual elaboration, is obscured by conceiving of a self and grasping at duality. From the Zolkin Times, Kin 147, Blue Self-Existing Hand. Self-existing is the name for the number 4, and its key words are form, measure, and define. The fourth day of a wave spell is all about discernment. Take a closer look at your situation. Do you have all the facts? Be Sherlock Holmes today and dig around for information. The small print can have a big impact, so read in between the lines. Today is Blue Hand, which represents healing, knowing, and accomplishment. Blue Hand days can be healing, but they can also be a slap in the face. I don't mean the harmful type, but the one people use when they are trying to snap a hysterical person back to their senses. Put your hands to good use today and slap yourself and loved ones. Of course, I mean metaphorically. As it is a number 4 day, healing can be more beneficial if the issue is studied more intimately. Precisely what is the matter? Pinpoint your needs. Today from Divine Sister of the Light, Christina Papagiorgio, Blue Self-Existing Hand, Kin 147, 23 August 2020, Defining the Dream, 23/8/2020, 23/8/22 equal 584 equals 17 equal 8. 23 Royal Star of the Lion, Strength, Support, Protection. 5 Freedom, Change, Transformation, Liberation. 4 Form, Structure, Foundation, Earth. 17 Immortality, Legacy. 8 Infinity, Abundance, Eternity, Source Flow. Kin 147 equal 12 equal 3 Holy Trinity, Joy, Creativity. Blue Hand is a magical portal added to the Gap Day, and we have ourselves another super duper phenomenal gateway today. Day 4 in the Yellow Seed Wave spell of flowering, awakening, new beginnings, ripening, opening to more light, and blossoming into your highest potential. Today we are defining the dream of New Earth that we are all collectively co-creating, focusing our attention on our highest potential and seeding that into the new time of Christ consciousness so that it will take form, grow, and blossom, a grand code for seeding forth our intentions into this now moment and into our brilliant, prosperous future. Bring it on, star blossoms. Tone of creation, self-existing tone 4, operates in the mental realm, action measures, power defines, essence form. Self-existing number 4 takes form, and we have ourselves a square shape, self-existing, measuring and defining, very intelligent, fascinated by self. We now have built a sturdy platform upon which further growth takes place. Today we are using our minds to anchor our dream of New Earth through great white magic, defining how we access and manifest using our God-given powers, dispense with the rest, and build your new solid foundations on the basis of divine alchemy and magical manifestations through your pure heart. Go forth and build this new foundation. Today we have the opportunity to allow healing in all areas, setting the intention to accomplish our personal dreams, and those dreams that are held in the collective unconscious as abundance and happiness for all beings. Whatever needs healing in your life, health, finances, relationships, anything, you can apply this magical healing energy today to bring balance and wholeness through the perfect divine blueprint you are visualizing. Today is the day to share the knowledge of our dreams, defining a new era. Let's raise the bar and define a higher dream for all mankind and our planet. Planetary service. Kin 147 affords the gift of significant planetary healing today. We can dream our planet into the new timeline as one dreamer in the web of creation. Or more potently, when we meditate, dream, or gather with our kinfolk, so hold and project this collective new way of dreaming onto a new movie screen for our planet today. Connect to Gaia today and go with her flow. Release all resistance and allow yourself to enjoy the ride on her back as she forges ahead into the new time. Today's question is, how can we accomplish healing on the deepest levels of being in order to construct a solid foundation for joy and abundance, defining a new level of existence on our planetary Earth, our beautiful planet, divine blessings for defining a higher dream for us all. And Lakek Alakin, Christina White, Magnetic World Bridger, Kin 66. Kin 147, Blue, Self-Existing Hand. The mantra, the code for today is, I define in order to know, measuring healing, I seal the store of accomplishment with a self-existing tone of form. I am guided by the power of abundance. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. And on this second day in the row, this powerful galactic activation portals of 10 days in a row, of intense power, intense energy, intense focus. Let us know, beloved beings of light, what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, your dreams, your visions, your synchronicities, and what you see for the new earth. I appreciate you all, beloved beings, for sharing your stories, your love, your light, your kindness, through this channel and with these comments. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and click the subscribe button below the video and the little bell that gives you notifications on future uploads. And as always, we have a link in the description below to the transcriptions of today's transmissions, and we archive these on our website, primedisclosure.com. I'd like to also thank everyone for their support and continued support on Patreon. If you'd like to support my mission and work here on YouTube and with Prime Disclosure, you can make a pledge on patreon.com/Prime Disclosure. We have that link in the description below. And to those on Patreon, a few days ago I uploaded a powerful meditation on awakening the Kundalini energy through these ascension energies that are flowing in. So you have to scroll down the page a little bit. They don't really have a way on Patreon to make categories for different uploads, so it's kind of like one long stream, and I update it quite frequently, so you can scroll down and you'll see the different practices that are only posted on Patreon. I'd like to thank Divine Sister of the Light, Shanda, from Namaste Healing and Retreat Center, for your donation and your support. Thank you, Divine Sister of the Light. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you for your support. You all keep me going through these most challenging times with your love, your support, and your connections. So today, while recording this transmission, I brought out some of the big guns, some of the pu'er tea and the Taoist arts, Chinese medicine tea. Tea is our medicine. And pu'er tea, which is a black tea, it's spelled P-U and then space E-R-H. One of my favorite sources for teas, I get them from multiple locations, but Aroma Tea in San Francisco. We visited there many years ago and had tea with the owner, and they have very high quality teas. But I have a connection in China through a bro Star of the Light that started a tea farm down by Asheville, North Carolina. Jeffrey. Aho, brother. So he's getting it done down there in the Blue Ridge Mountains, our sacred lands where I trained many years ago in several arts. So the pu'er tea, it's a black tea. It's good for your digestion, good for the stomach and the kidneys and bladder. What's also important, if you look at the acupuncture point or acupressure, Zulsan Li. The Zulsan Li is stomach 36. It's in the leg. You can look it up as Z-U-S-A-N-L-I. You can apply pressure with your thumb. It's on both legs. And it's to help the Li, the fire. Li, Kan and Li, Kan, water, Li, fire. It helps strengthen the fire of the belly, the stomach. Stomach is the second brain. There's as many neurons in the gut as there are in the brain, and then also in the heart. Each dantian is like a separate brain, and they work cohesively together. Our lineage of the water path is middle dantian, Neigong. We have Qigong, Neigong, Shengong. It was known that Confucius would burn moxibustion on the Zulsan Li point every day. It's a point for overall health, because the stomach is the source of the strength of our immunity system. That's why we strengthen. We work with all the 5 elements and all the organs, but the stomach is one of the most important organs of our, obviously, digestive system, but our autonomic nervous system as well, which is what we call our immunity. And today, out in the sacred portal, as I was doing my arts and practices, my meditative arts and ceremony, Gaia was very quiet today, very still. There was a stillness in the air, but also a great power in that stillness. We say in the silence and the stillness is the great power. So people that come to me that ask about manifesting their visions, their abundance, their dreams, part of the power is to see in your mind's eye exactly what you do want, and then through that, or what you need, or what you would like to experience, or if you have a question for anything, we let that rise up in the mind, and then through that we go into the stillness within. And in that power of that stillness, as we take a deep breath into the emptiness, into the void, this is where the power manifests. There's a saying in the shamanic communities that behind every powerful medicine man is an even more powerful medicine woman. Because through time, it was generally the male figure that was the shaman of the tribe, but it was the power of the divine feminine that together in union with the divine masculine empowered them both to be able to heal their people, to be able to manifest peace, harmony, abundance in all things for their tribes. And there's many symbolism and synchronicities with these concepts. And today, in the heavens above, there are many sylphs and sigils and symbols and ships, many cloud ships, strange anomalies in the skies, many reporting all week through the lightworker community. And I experienced multiple today as I went on several journeys. And then at twilight this evening, in the golden and scarlet hues, there was this deep quietness and stillness. And these are the times in between worlds to prepare the physical, the body, mind, the spirit for the next unfolding, to the next stage of these great processes that are going on every day that we're all experiencing. I see this as daily as the passion, the death, the resurrection, and the ascension. And that's why it's being reported through the consciousness of the awakened and the awakening, shifting in between these intense emotions and feelings and deep releases as we're traveling deep into the underworld of the subconscious, the unconscious, the inner conscious mind, to reveal through this time of revelation that which no longer serves us as an individual or serves us as a collective. So each choice we make, we see how it benefits ourself through our self-ascension and the collective service to others through the collective ascension. And if it doesn't resonate to both, it doesn't resonate at all. So this is why our visions are seeing the concept of we're all in this together. So all I ever ask of any human in the past, the present, and the future, I asked or will ask, is for everyone to get along. Because there's a big divide going on many different levels, which is slowing down the ascension process. And I see this greatly amongst the lightworker communities and things such as truthers versus lightworkers or new agers and all these concepts. So my vision is to be a connector, connecting all teams, all groups together, saying, let's cease and desist any attacks, any debating or conflicts in the mind, and see that we are all in this together. There is no greater than or less than. When you realize your Buddha nature, you realize that all are equal, all are one. So there is no greater than, less than. There is no self-importance or self-pity. There is only self-ascension or self-awakening to assist all of humanity. That is the purpose of the Tulku, the great bodhisattvas that reincarnate until all beings are awakened. And that is our path. And it is in this now, in this timeline, in this manifestation, in this realm, that we bring this whole game to fruition and say, game over for the separation programming, for the duality. Of course, we still experience our individual experience and expressions and the collective, because there is the one and the many and the one. One cannot exist without the other. One implies many, many implies the one. But we navigate the world being connected to both, our internal experience and our external, because that is the paradox, is that they mirror each other. What is going on outside yourself into the infinite galaxies and universe and space is exactly what is going on inside this physical vessel. It is a hologram. It is a mirror. And through this experience of the connection of the physical with the non-physical, the internal with the external, the 73 into the 37, heaven on earth, we realize that all things are perfectly resolved in the unborn mind of Buddha. And then we use that perfect awareness to manifest and transmit our highest love, our highest light, our highest codes to all of humanity and all life and all timelines, dimensions, and all realms, here now, to activate the codes of eternal bliss consciousness. So, beloved beings of light, it is our highest purpose and our highest good to live 100% from our heart, being connected to all things to the best of our ability. And then from that center, we walk through the storm, creating sacred space with every footstep upon Pachamama. So have a beautiful and blessed galactic activation portal as we bring all together in perfect harmony and balance for all sentient beings of pure consciousness. I love you all. Namaste.